What's going on, family? Thank you for tapping into another episode. It's your guy, Boro, the Lucky Libra. All right. As you can see by the title, we're picking up the Signs Through the Houses series with Capricorn in the 5th house. All right. So before we get into it, make sure to like, share, subscribe so you can circulate the gems. All right. Make sure to tap into my Patreon and dive deeper, and tap into my website to connect with the Lucky Libra. Let's get right into it. So the 5th house, Capricorn in the 5th house. When we look at the 5th house rules, the area of our life whenever we're tapping into creative and self-expression, artistic expression, creative endeavors, creative projects. All right. Huge influence on children, huge influence on romance, huge influence on how we like to be entertained, how we like to entertain others, how we like to have fun. All right. How we connect to the inner child. So when we have Capricorn here, Capricorn brings that influence of Saturn, all right, and it's Earth. Okay, so Earth is going to influence some steadiness, some patience, all right. It wants to be grounded wherever it's at, wants to be stable. Then we have Saturn influencing here. Saturn deals with what? Restrictions, limitations, boundaries, all right. Structure. It rules time, organization, stability, security. So when we put Capricorn in the 5th house, now look, this is the thing here. The 5th house is the house the sun is ruled by, right? This is the house that the sun is ruled by. So this house has a huge influence on expression. Saturn doesn't reflect light. So when we look at that from how that energy manifests, Saturn-like energy, Capricorn, Aquarius, or Saturn itself, when it comes to dealing with expression and creative self-expression, it's useless to it unless it's something that could be monetized, used to build, stabilize, or secure something. All right. There's not going to be no senseless use of expression. When we're looking at that type of energy, Capricorn wants to use. This is I use. So when you go in the 5th house, these individuals are going to be real. They're going to be able to perceive things from their self-expression from the perspective to monetize it, make money off of it, help it bring stability and structure in their life. They're not going to be out in the streets singing just to be seen for being a singer or whatnot. They're going to look at it like, if I'm jumping into this creative expression or whatnot, this creative project or whatnot, like there's something I need to capitalize off this from a monetary standpoint. All right. It has to be realistic. Capricorn influences a sense of reality. Where is that? So these individuals have to understand that, you're going to have the knack for being able to deal with the business marketing aspect to something, dealing with expression, right? Dealing with creative expression, artistic expression. But at the same time, Saturn places restrictions where it's at. So this could play out in scenarios where you can catch influences to stop or hesitate or put more time into something, or make sure something has a certain standard or quality to the point you're actually holding yourself back, restricting yourself. You're allowing Saturn to restrict you in this house from creatively expressing yourself. You're thinking too practically, too realistically when it comes to your 5th house area at life sometimes. This is the fun house, so that shows you having fun, living life is a part of life. So you don't want to have that serious undertone of Capricorn here stunting how you experience having fun. Yes, once again, you're going to have the knack, strong intuition and attributes to yourself to help you understand how to monetize in this area, help you understand how to build stability and structure, use creativity, use your self-expression, use your ability to public speak, use your ability to teach, use your ability to be on the stage to help you get to the dollar bill. But at the same time, don't let Saturn place too much restrictions to the point where it's Friday evening, you had a good productive week or whatnot, and your friends is trying to invite you. And especially if you got a lot of Aquarius, if you got a strong Saturn placement, you got a lot of Aquarius Cap energy, you got placements in here in Capricorn and Aquarius or whatnot, like, you will put fun on the back burner a lot of the times. It's Friday evening, you had a really good week and whatnot, and your roommates, your friends trying to invite you to come out, this, that, and the third. You're like, nah, I'm gonna put in some more work on what I got to do this night. And the weekend was all the time you needed to finish everything else you had to do. It wasn't gonna hurt you to just, exhale Friday evening, tap into some fifth house activities, hit the bar, grab some drinks, hit the local pub. All right. But nah, seriously, that's something you just have to be aware of with Capricorn in the fifth house. But these individuals, man, they can manifest, especially if they have Capricorn Aquarius placements, strong Saturn placements, strong aspects, sun aspecting, Capricorn, a planet in Capricorn in this fifth house. You feel me? Sun or moon in Capricorn, sun and moon in Earth. You can manifest situations where you can become, very skilled when it comes to managing the art, managing creativity, seeing how to maximize its potential to be monetized. And Capricorn also deals with long-term energy. So, these getting your royalties, knowing how to copyright shit, understanding the business undertone of things in the fifth house when it comes from what you give out to the world from a creative perspective. Now, this house also deals with children. So when we look at Saturn, Capricorn influence in the fifth house, these individuals may have more of a disciplined approach towards how they deal with their children. All right. When it comes to the inner child, like, once again, you going out to have fun, you going out to diving into things where, when it comes to what makes you feel lively, have fun, that's a fifth house thing. That's also a form of nurturing the inner child. So you got to make sure, Capricorn, here, it don't manifest into you being too strict of a parent. All right, too strict of a parent. You may want to influence attributes of discipline and structure, and the ability to earn something, put time into something, dedicate and devote yourself to something with the children, but just the ways you go about it, you just always want to be aware of that. These people may manifest opportunities. It really depends on alignments. I don't want to reach in that way. But yeah, Capricorn fifth house, as far as the connection with children, it could be these type of individuals, the old man in the park giving kids game. Kids may not be understanding everything this person telling them, but they giving them some wisdom about some shit. Capricorn wise, we're looking at father time and all that. So they could be teachers here to the youth. Real talk though. Fire houses deal with expression. Awareness is expression. When you express something, you're giving awareness to others about something. So, when we look at the fifth house could have a lot to do with teaching. You have to be center stage to teach, right? You have to have some attention to teach. You have to pay attention to you if you're teaching. So it could play out in that way with Capricorn's relationship with the children and whatnot. But yes, you want to know where Saturn is at. Saturn is the house ruler of this house. You want to know where Saturn is at. Whatever house you have Saturn in, it's going to be bringing energies into your fifth house. Okay, there may be things, it may be a house, wherever Saturn is at in your chart is going to be seeing how to build reality in that house. So let's say you have Saturn in the seventh house. Saturn's going through a lot of experiences, learning how to structure and build network amongst others with its relationships. So at times, Saturn may manifest situations in that seventh house where it's like, oh shit, I could bring this person with me into the fifth house. Me and this person can run this podcast together. This person has these resources in the seventh house. Let me come back to my fifth house with how I deal with creatively expressing myself and build with this person. Like, you got Saturn in the sixth house. Somebody in a workplace, somebody at work, might end up manifesting, or a situation out of work may end up helping you be center stage, or help with creative endeavors, or lead into things dealing with you being able to build upon the things that you want to do in your fifth house. Shit, sixth house could even be fun. If you got the fifth house or a sixth house, yeah, your sixth house might actually be fun. Work actually might be fun, like But yeah, you just want to know what house that Saturn is in, all right? What aspects hidden Saturn, things affecting your fifth house. All right, but yeah, Capricorn kid, it's gonna be real structured with how it deals with a creative expression. You know, these people they're gonna want to make sure, you know, everything is formatted in an efficient sense. So you can't you got to understand both sides of the gift and the curse here, being too practical with your creative expression, overthinking things with your creative expression. Sometimes you have to let things flow. Creativity has to flow. All right. So you don't want Saturn always stopping things like, no, work on it more. No, put more time into it. No, structure it some more. Like, you feel me? Like, you got to know when to flow with your intuition in certain areas of dealing with certain things. And in creative houses, it comes with flow. So you have to be aware of the influences that can stop flow here. All right. Creative flow. All right. I can tell you this much. Capricorn in the 5th house, they ain't about to fake the funk. If they ain't got it, they ain't going to the club. I'll tell you that much. It's almost, they going to put some restrictions on some 5th house energies. They going to put some restrictions on some 5th house energies if they lacking resources or any of that. Best believe that. All right. So that's what we got going on, Capricorn in the 5th house. This is my Virgo, not Virgo risings. Yes, Virgo risings. This is my Virgo risings. All right. Capricorn winter, Virgo fall, you know. All right. 2 more things. I just thought about this after I turned it off. Capricorn has a huge influence on, like, you know, the father figure, right? And it also has an influence on being the boss, the owner, the CEO, authority. So when it comes into 5th house endeavors, this individual is going to want authority over their creativity. You know, they're going to want creative control. Like, this is an artist signed to a record label. Like, they're probably really going to want creative control over their shit. Once again, royalties and all that. They're going to be on top of that shit. And they may deal with situations with people trying to get authority over you. You got to keep that in mind. It might be situations of people trying to get authority over you in some type of shape or form with creative endeavors in the creative realm. All right. Keep an eye out for that. You always want to make sure you own your shit. You the boss of your shit here. And father influences may have an influence on how you express yourself. All right. Well, how you express yourself and how you, it may have an influence on how you deal with creativity in a positive or negative way. You have to see what energies, what house Saturn is in. And if there's, depending on, you know, we could see influences with the father at times, seeing squares and oppositions or whatnot to Saturn. So you want to see that. You may start to get to the root of why you may deal with certain things with expressing yourself. All right. So I just had to chime that in. So, y'all already know the vibes, family. All right. Like, share, subscribe so we can circulate these gems. Tap into my Patreon if you want to dive deeper. Tap into my website if you want to connect with the Lucky Libra. Next, we're picking it up with Aquarius in the 5th house, getting close to wrapping up the signs through the 5th house, moving into the 6th house. All right, family. Until then, peace.